So I don't know if you've noticed, but American culture is genuinely in a slump. The golden age of television that broke in around 2000 has faded out. We've got a million channels now and nothing is on. Novels are not very good. Music stinks. Everything is in a slump. And I think a lot of this is because of our wokeness, which is a completely dishonest way of looking at the world, and makes it almost impossible to make good art. I mean, people are being blacklisted for being white. People are being blacklisted if they don't have the right opinions. You can't make art in a situation like that. It's just not going to happen. So I've been looking around to see if anything is on, and I watched one bad movie, one mediocre movie, and one movie that was made a couple of years ago that's pretty good that you should know about. The worst of them was this film Malignant, which is a horror movie that was on HBO Max, I think, and it was also in the theaters. And what's sad about this is by this director, James Wan, who made the Conjuring universe. The first two films in the Conjuring universe are quite good. The second one especially, I think, is really good. But Malignant, I turned it on, and it's just like bad, you know, and I think it cost about $25 million to make. And it's the same scene over and over again. You know, people going through a house, they hear a noise and the thing jumps out and you know it's going to happen. It just happens over and over and over again. And after 40 minutes, I was just about ready to turn it off when suddenly the evildoer, whoever it is, because I never got to the end of it, it was obviously a kind of clever idea. I could sort of tell where it was going. They tie up a woman and the guy says, you know, I've been waiting for this, but not yet. I'll come back for you. And I just thought, no. You know, I am all for damsels in distress. I'm all for watching damsels in distress get chased by monsters. But when you turn a damsel in distress into a sick thrill, I'm gone. I'm out the door. I'm not watching that. I never watched any of those hostile movies. I just hated that stuff. You know, it is one thing to threaten somebody to make you feel good when somebody rescues her or she rescues herself, but it is another thing to make you, to give you a thrill by tying a woman up and waiting for her to be tortured. I can't stand it. You know, to compare it, think about A Quiet Place. A Quiet Place had this loving family fighting these monsters, and you were afraid for them, and you were thrilled by the scares and all this stuff, but it was for all the right reasons. You wanted the love of this family to triumph over these evil monsters. The other film, which was just kind of funny, is a film called Voyeurs, The Voyeurs, which I think was on Amazon Prime. And this was, you know, big promotion, and it was supposed to be a throwback to the sex thrillers of the 90s, like Basic Instinct and Fatal Attraction, all these things. There were a few more of them, but they were very, very sexy. A lot of nudity, obviously. In Basic Instinct, there was the ultimate kind of nude scene where she uncrossed her legs and everybody. You know, and the problem with that is how many more body parts are there to show? None. We've seen all the body parts. You can get all the body parts on any porn site on the internet. And also, a lot of those things grew out of the AIDS crisis when sex became very dangerous. So the idea of linking sex to danger made a lot more sense. The Voyeurs, has one interesting thing. It's mediocre. It's not bad. It kind of gets you. It has a good, you know, it's going to have a twist, and it has a good twist. And the performances are quite nice. Sydney Sweeney and Justice Smith are the lovers who become fascinated with the high sex couple across the way. There's a photographer in there. He is sleeping with everything that moves, and they just get obsessed with watching his sex life. And the trick this is not giving anything away. This is not the twist, but the trick to the movie, if you watch it carefully, and you're gonna think I'm making this up, but when you see it, you will see what I mean, is that there is an undercurrent of suspense about the star, Sydney Sweeney. She has a fabulous body. And the undercurrent of suspense, seriously, is she going to take off her shirt? And it's designed like this. It is purposeful. You can see it. It's in the very first scene. She's in a changing room, and the curtain is open. There's a very first scene, and the curtain is open just a little bit, and you're kind of looking to see, is she getting undressed? And she turns around, she pulls the curtain closed to say, don't look at me. And then again and again, she almost exposes herself, but not quite. And obviously the director is using a Hitchcock technique that he used in Rear Window, which is to make you into a voyeur so that you're part of this kind of sleazy enterprise that these people are getting involved in. You are as much of a voyeur as they are. So that I thought was kind of clever, a little bit of thought going into it. But the problem with this is, the problem we're having, and the reason these movies are bad, is because we don't have the values with which you make good movies. We don't understand why being a voyeur. We know it's creepy, but we don't know why it's creepy. We don't understand where the good is. And the end of this movie shows that they don't really understand what the problem is with being a voyeur and with the kinds of things that are going on. But it's not an unthoughtful movie. It's not a stupid movie. And it really, like I said, its twist is interesting, and it raises some interesting issues. And this trick they pull with this young lady, whether she's going to take off her shirt, and you'll see again and again, she comes this close and they stop. And you're thinking like, well, are we? And you become a voyeur. I thought that was pretty clever. But the best film I've seen lately was made in 2013. And it was made for $50,000, and it's a film called Coherence by a guy named James Ward Burkett, who I think most of what he has done, this is his only picture he's directed, but most of what he's done, I think, is like set design for the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And what he did in this is he got a bunch of actor friends together, so they're all kind of when I say low-level actors, I mean not celebrated actors, but they're very, very talented group of actors. And the performances are lovely and they're great. And he kind of told them where he wanted to go, but he let them ad-lib a lot. Now, as a writer, I'm prejudiced towards scripts. I thought he could have taken their ad-libs and then written a script around their ad-libs, and it would have had a little bit more, so to speak, coherence. But having said that, it is very creepy, very clever, very gripping. And I'm not going to tell you it's a great movie, but it is a very, very good movie. And it shows you that for $50,000, if you are a creative person, you can make a great movie that you can't make if you're going for the lowest common denominator with $25 million. And so Coherence, I really recommend it. I think it's worth watching. It's on, that too I saw on Amazon Prime. And you'll see why. You can almost see that it's still in a past world where values matter and relationships matter, and they're not woke. They show you women being women and men being men, and they show you how all that plays out. And because it's not woke, it actually has some human valence to it. And it's really creepy and it's really cool. It's creepy in a cool way, like as a ghost story. I love ghost stories. It's just about a group of people who get together, kind of arty types, who get together for a dinner on the night a comet is passing overhead, and the comet starts to cause weird things to happen. And that's really only giving you the first 5 minutes. It's quite clever, and it's a delight. It's delightful to watch artists be jazzy and creative. And hopefully this woke moment will pass, and we'll get back to that again. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It means you will get more good content like this.